Hey everyone, and welcome to How to Hockey Card. In today's video, we're going to be covering a fundamental of sports card collecting and even trading card collecting, and that is how to ship a trading card or a sports card. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video, and we're just going to start off by going through the process that I personally go through. So the card that we're going to pretend to ship today is this Wayne Gretzky SPX base. It's already in its top loader and sleeve. If you don't know what those are, I'll walk you through them very quickly here, but a sleeve is also sometimes known as a penny sleeve. It's a soft little plastic thing that you put a card into. It helps protect the surface of the card so it doesn't get scratched when you put it into a top loader, which is a more rigid kind of, it's still a soft plastic, but it's more rigid, so it'll help protect the card from bending. It'll protect the corners and things like that. So that's really, whenever you have a card that's worth any value, I generally recommend making sure you immediately put it into these, just because it is good storage practice to make sure the cards don't get damaged. But anyways, now that that's out of the way, let's get into the whole shipping practice. So what I generally need is I need the card that I'm going to ship that's already in its top loader and penny sleeve. I'm going to need team bags. Team bags are, again, they're like little plastic bags. They're kind of like not quite Ziploc bags, but like they have like a little tear strip that you can reseal them. And you can find them at your local card store. They're fairly easy. I recommend, if you're doing a lot of shipping, doing one-touch team bags, just because it gives you a little bit more room to add a little but more contents to them, or if you're shipping multiple cards, it allows you to put multiple cards in one. And then finally, the last thing that you're going to want, you're going to want a bubble mailer to ship your card in, and then outside of that, either some spare base cards or decoys. Decoys are kind of like inserts that get put into boxes just to make sure that like packs with thin cards don't they're the same kind of width as packs with really thick cards. Anyways, so yeah, now that we've got everything that we need, we're going to go ahead and go through the shipping process. So first thing, you grab your team bag and you grab the card that you're going to want to ship. You put the card into the team bag. And I mean, this is probably good enough on its own, but what I like to do when I'm shipping, especially just a single card, is take a couple base cards, put them in front of the card, and put a couple in behind the card. In this case, it's the other way around. And once that's done, you peel the plastic strip off the top, fold it over, close it, make sure it's sealed. Again, these are base cards that don't, like, the condition of them, the person's not paying for the base cards, they're paying for the card inside of it. The reason why I do that is just in case someone cuts into it or a key runs into it or something. It will cut through the base card first and just give it that little bit of extra protection. And you're mainly protecting around what-if scenarios here, but after you've got that, you take your bubble mailer, take your card, drop it in there, make sure you have the addresses on it, close the bubble mailer up, and you're good. That's literally all you need to do to ship a sports card. There are a couple other situations where I do a little bit of different things here, but for the most part, they're all going to be along the same lines. For bubble mailers, I literally pick mine up at the dollar store. They're the 6-inch by 9-inch ones. I prefer smaller ones, the 5-inch by 8-inch ones. I think they're like the 00 size. Those are the ones that I actually prefer. You can get them at Staples or sometimes Walmart, but again, these ones at the dollar store for $1.25. You can even cut them in half and use shipping tape. But I just generally put one card in them, and the reason why I use a bubble mailer over like a regular paper envelope is just, again, it adds that little bit of extra sturdiness and makes it a little bit less likely to bend, and people kind of see a bubble mailer and they're just like, okay, this needs to be handled with a little bit more care. So so that's how I generally would ship a thick card. For young guns, sometimes, especially if they're higher valued, I'll actually use either more base cards or thicker, kind of like the decoy style. I'll put one in front, one behind, and put it in the team bag again. Fold the team bag all the way over so it covers the top of the top loader. And then, again, same thing, just put this in the envelope, and it's not going, this isn't going to bend. So it's very, very basic, very straightforward. Some other things that people do when shipping cards is that they'll put like tape or something or like a sticker over the top just to make sure the card doesn't slide out, which is good. Again, it's a good practice to get into because, as you can see with the Gretzky, if you shake it, the card does come out. But that's what the team bag does, is it actually just stops that as well. You can do both just to be extra safe. And yeah, that's really about it. The only exception to all of this that I use is on redemptions, because redemptions really, you're don't really need to protect the shape of this card because all they care about is the code here. They're going to scratch the code off so they get their card shipped to them from the manufacturer. Again, general policies that I do for that is I literally just do, I take my penny sleeve, put the redemption in the penny sleeve, put it in the top loader, like that, and then I literally would just drop this in the envelope because, again, the condition of this card doesn't really matter a ton. Some people will be a little bit crazy about it, but this is going to keep it more than enough protected when you're shipping a card in a bubble mailer. So that's really all you need to know about how to ship a sports card. And if you have any questions, let me know, especially when it comes to like a larger quantity of cards. Again, the reason why I recommend the one-touch bags is because you can actually put more cards in them. So here's 3 cards. They fit fine in here. You can fit a lot of cards in here. Let's get this one in there. We'll get another one in there. And like the more cards you add to it too, the less you need stuff like decoys. So like there's 5 cards in this. Like this is not getting bent. It is very sturdy. None of the cards are going to come sliding out of their top loader. This is going to keep them safe. If you want to, again, be extra careful, you can put a little bit of tape over the back here. Just make sure that this doesn't come flap, or the flap doesn't lift up. But again, that's really all you need to ship a sports card. Again, I just highly recommend doing everything here. I also recommend avoid shipping in things like one-touches, because in a one-touches, I don't want to do this, but you can kind of see the card has like a little bit of wiggle room. So when you can imagine the card in the mail, if someone's walking around with, a bunch of letters, or they're in the car, no one's like holding them like this so they don't, get shaken up everywhere. So they're kind of going like this. And like when you're going like this with this, the card isn't going to slide anywhere. The corners or sides or edges aren't going to get dinged. So again, pretty much what I highly recommend is that. On thicker things like patches, one-touches can be fine. Just make sure you get the proper size for them. But again, I just highly recommend everything in top loaders and penny sleeves, and then put them into a team bag and then into a bubble mailer, and you are good to go. That's, again, all you need to do to ship a sports card. This went on a little bit longer than what I expected, but hopefully this helped you. Again, any questions, let me know. And as always, take it easy, and I'll catch you guys on the flop side. Peace.